What's going on, everybody? We are back to give you guys another recap slash after show on Stranger Things season 4. This is going to be our episode 5 and 6, just like we did episodes 3 and 4. We're doing it for 5 and 6 now. This is completely spoiler filled, and we're going to try to keep it within 40 minutes max. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but we have here all the hosts are all back. Have Ant, have Keaton, have Nat. What's going on, everybody?
How's it going?
Hola.
I'm loving that 8-bit intro graphics you had. I don't know if that's promotional material or what, but that was awesome.
Can't say.
Straight off the top.
Right. It's Stranger Things.
It's in theme. It's in theme. So
right. Had to do
totally
it.
works.
But yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Episode 5, and then we'll go to episode 6 right after that. If some stuff bleed in, we'll try to keep on target with this one. So episode 5. All of episode 4, we didn't see where 11 was going. We didn't know where Owens was taking her. But in this one, we see him take her literally in the middle of nowhere. There's a door out there in the desert, literally. And she proceeds to go down into this bunker that he kind of says, like, we've kind of built this for you. Like a whole missile can go off in this and it still wouldn't destroy the area. And she was like, everybody looks up to you like you're, famous here. She's like, okay. She's thinking everything's cool. He's like, look, you're going to get your powers in a way you've never had them before. You're strong you ever been before. And she's like, gets to what they call Nina, which is a machine that we don't know what the machine really does. But she's like, all right, you'll see. And he's like, just wait on it. He kind of falls back. She looks up and down the staircase comes Papa. So this off of episode 5 and what 11 had to go through, which was a lot. What was you guys' takeaway from her experience? Like, one, reconnecting with Papa and everything she had to kind of go through and process from her trauma in episode 5. I was curious y'all's perspective on it. Anybody?
Her trauma? What about my trauma? I thought dude was dead. I ain't even thinking about 11 right now. I'm trying to survive all this. I'm telling you, man. Like I my jaw was on the floor when he popped back up. I mean, I should have known because of how they opened the season, but still, when he showed back up, I'm like, wait, I thought your head got crushed season 1. Like I thought you was washed, dog. Like what?
Right.
Where you come from, and where this lab in the middle of the desert? Who building this? Like what?
Right.
I had look, like I said, Stranger Things. If it's one thing they do well, is make you ask questions.
That's a fact. Nat, what about you?
One word: trigger. Like this L was triggered throughout the 5th episode and the 6th episode. Because yes, their approach was not great. Like him popping up, one. I feel like Owen just should have just kept him and be like explaining things, and then maybe him pop up eventually, but not right that second when she first got there.
Right.
Like, what?
Right.
Stress.
Right. It's kind of like, did he really need Papa to pop up before she went into the tank? Like, don't you think that would have elevated her anxiety? Like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could have probably prepared her a little bit better, but they just...
Oh, no, they did that to us. That won't for her. They did that to us.
Like, they sedated her tail. And I think this is what made it so bad. I know, Aunt, I'm going to give you the next rap with this, but when she was sedated, she woke up and she realized her hair was cut. And then we don't know as the audience, like, wait, did they cut this girl's hair off? Like, what's going on with this? And so she's kind of walking and she goes into what looks like the rainbow room, which we've seen glimpses of it before, I think with that episode with 8, but we didn't know what about. And then, of course, the opening of the first episode, like we saw like her effectively killing everybody. But it was kind of like she was in there and she was like, what is going on? Get me out of here. And every place she turned, she couldn't get out until she saw herself in the mirror, a young version of herself. And it messed her up even more, right? And so I think they did a really good job with de-aging her. I think this might be one of the best de-agings that I've seen since Marvel.
They did a really good job
with
it.
Robert Downey Jr. in which Avengers movie with that? I don't even remember which one. I think it was Captain America, actually 3.
Civil War.
Yeah.
It was mid, but
but yeah, I think they did a really good job with de-aging her. But it from a psychological standpoint, like that's gotta mess with you because you're now transported back to somewhere and you can't get out of it, and you just have to relive it and move forward. Psychologically, and like where did you take 11's journey through episode 5? And kind of what was that?
So I thought it was really great the way they did those transitions because we weren't really sure what was going on or where she was.
Right.
And I remember me and Nat were live chatting, and I was like, "Oh, I think she might be in the sensory deprivation tank," and he's messing with her head. I love the explanation they gave, comparing her having to relearn her powers, like to stroke victims, having to relearn, like figure out how their wires are now, how they're now rewired to use certain abilities. Again, I don't see how the upside of breaking the trust of this. Because at first I thought maybe they were going to try to introduce a shock of trauma to get her to use her powers if she was really in danger, and maybe she would think that's. But there was no purpose in keeping us all from her, right? And then drugging her, like you're going to give her back her powers. Also, I thought this guy was done as well, and so, and like some of these things take from Lovecraft horror, right? Like a lot of this stuff takes from Lovecraft horror. And there's an elder god that kind of walks around and messes with humans in different ways called Neolithitat, I think is how you pronounce it. And I wonder if this guy is that. I wonder because we don't know anything about him. We don't really know anything about the program. We don't know where these powers come from. And I wonder. I know you asked for a more clinical explanation of what's going on, but these are the things that were going through my head. I wonder if he's more connected to that other world than we think, and what his angle is. Also, what kind of confused me was I thought everybody had different powers in the facility. All the different numbers had different powers because when we met it, I believe she had different powers than Elle, right? So,
Yeah.
but now it seems like Elle's powers were kind of the standard. Or am I misreading that? Did y'all get?
No, 8 had the ability of making people believe something. Like she had the ability of kind of like making a silhouette of something to make somebody think something was something else versus actually physically hurting or moving something with their mind. I did pick up on it. Some of the kids did seem like they had some other things going on. Because one of them was doing something that was just very different than just physically moving something. I couldn't really pick it apart. But they kind of left it at they're all at a standard place that they should all be able to do the same exact thing. Now, what that means to reach out, I don't know, because this is the other thing. 11, based on what's his name? 10? 10 was able to see, right, something that was on the other side of what he was writing. Like it was like almost like he was kind of reading what was going on through his eyes, almost like reading his mind, essentially, versus like figuring out where a person's at and auditorily hearing it and actually being there, kind of what 11 has. So I think that there are certain things that are very different, but they haven't really rectified it. And it doesn't really matter because all the kids are dead.
Well, do we know all the? What about number 1? Like number 1 was very interesting character they brought up.
What did they say about number 1?
Just that it was a sad tale.
And they said it was a sad tale, and it doesn't seem as though, like, kind of like 8, he's not there. And they don't.
He could be the orderly. He could be the silver-haired scientist. We don't know. Like we just don't know a lot about it.
Yeah, they usually with this impression of like either 1, he's dead, and then 2, how and why. Because you would think that, okay, from 1, they would grow and create all the other ones. So it's interesting. That's a really good question.
Right. This comes from the 80s program. Like they were doing experiments with psychic powers in real life for some reason. I'm guessing that's where the genesis of this idea came from. So, like, what was the government's purpose in this too? So I don't know. There's a lot of questions in that.
Right.
I don't know
And
who Orly was. Like, for real. Like, I don't remember him from season 1. Where was he?
But we didn't.
What happened to him?
But we didn't see any of the other kids in season 1.
yeah, we didn't see any of them in season 1, I feel like.
Nah, there was no other kids that they actually really utilized. And the funny thing about the Orderly is it seems like, he's trying to help 11 in some way, shape, or form.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was he manipulating time?
Who?
The
loop you saw, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
No. That wasn't. It wasn't.
Machine? I thought that was them using the machine to do the loop.
It was a machine. The machine basically, all the thing the machine does is, this is all based on memory. This isn't like something that they can change. It's the problem was, the reason why I was looping is because she wasn't moving forward with it. The more she falls deeper into the emotion of what's happening, the more it can go moving forward, like fast forwarding essentially.
I thought dude could manipulate time. I got excited. I'm like, yo, we about to get Bob back, baby. Let's go.
Did we see silver hair scientists interact with number 1 Orderly? Did we see them interact at all?
Well, I think he was being questioned at one point. That was in episode 6, I think.
Oh, they beat him or something, right?
In episode 6,
I guess because he was telling their business, he was spilling tea, and they were like, "No, we ain't trying."
Yeah.
I wonder if the Orderly's number 1 and he's invading this space. I wonder if he was invited to this space or not, like mentally on a different kind of plane. I don't know. There's a theory. Anyway.
Oh,
yeah. We'll get into that. I don't want to.
That'd be interesting.
That's an interesting theory. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, because we haven't even got episode 6 yet. So
sorry, I got real.
Yeah. I feel like you should be going by arcs at this point, Sam. Seriously.
Huh?
She said, "I think you should be going by arcs at this point because it all gets it all runs together."
Oh no, I'm trying to go and bounce us to the next one. Because the other part of episode 5 was the boys, basically the guard that protected them was dying in front of them, and he basically was like, "Look, you need to go and get my pen, get the number," and they're sitting there scrambling. He's dying. They're really panicking. It's weird because these kids have seen so much death, but it's not like a situation where they've seen somebody die from a gunshot wound. And so it's still very traumatic and fearful and terrifying for them. But it all boils to eventually, I forget Jonathan's friend's name. I keep forgetting, the pizza guy. Yeah, they're burying his body, and he's kind of freaking out. He's like, he doesn't know what to do. Jonathan's like, man, go smoke some weed. At this point, Jonathan's sobered up. Finally, Jonathan's starting to step up because he has to. Like, he doesn't have really much of a choice, and he's got to kind of move forward. But Mike also steps up as well. Mike becomes a better friend from episode 5 at this point. In that we finally have a real conversation with Will. And we finally get Will able to kind of open up to him about the reality that, yeah, you probably handled that wrong because you were afraid of how she was going to respond to how you actually felt, regardless of how you felt. And he kind of opened up about, like, he's been in that same situation. Of course, they're talking about each other, or he's talking about Mike, and Mike's talking about, 11. But I'm glad he's finally getting some progression on a positive level, because at this point, I'm kind of like, I could take, Mike or leave him, but
maybe maybe this is it for him. Maybe they're gonna leave him. I don't know.
Well, I have a theory, but I can't say. We gotta wait till we get a little bit further on. But how did you guys take the interaction between Michael and Will in this episode?
It's weird because it just seems like since everything post season 2, like the best friend vibe that they had just isn't there anymore. It's like they're strangers to each other. It just doesn't it just doesn't feel the same. It's like they've gone their separate ways, and now they're just it feels like they're trying to still maintain the friendship they had, but it's just not there.
Yeah. And I think the consequence of what's going on isn't helping, because, like, Mike, because he's without Elle, he's got to step up and move forward. But Will is trying to be there to be supportive of him without giving Elle too much, which is this is weird. It's a weird situation they're both in.
Mm.
What else was going on in this episode? Oh, so this is where I messed up last episode. Episode 4, I talked about Hop, and I'll admit this. I was talking about Hop and his backstory, how he was having a conversation with the previous guard that he had just given up. He felt like he was a curse, and he started talking about like his past and his daughter and the war. And now that you guys actually did see it and have more context, did you guys have anything to add to that, Nat and Ant?
Just that I enjoyed the scene. I think it just it makes you sympathize with Hopper because he's just in this situation, and it's like one of those things where you're just like, I'm done. Like, I'm tired. Like, I just want something to happen. I just want it to be over. Like, just can it just be over, please? But he still has fight in him, as you can see from episode 6, which hopefully we'll get into.
We will.
But I think he just needed to let that out. And it's interesting how much we let out or how vulnerable we are to a complete stranger. And or someone that we consider a stranger, even though they're kind of like now bonded in a weird way because they're in this situation together. So I think it was still a good scene. I think because we were talking about episode 4 and what happened with Max, again, it was more important. I felt it was more important with what was going on with Max than what was going on with Hopper. But this episode, even though they were showing what everyone was doing, this moment was definitely a standout moment in episode 5.
Yeah. What about you, Ant?
I want to say I don't stand by Nat's comments that it is okay to talk to a complete stranger about your problems. I think it might be beneficial.
I didn't say it wasn't okay. I just said that it's interesting that you can do that with someone. It's very interesting that you can still be vulnerable with a complete stranger and just air all your ish out. I didn't say it wasn't okay.
Some might say it's even better to talk to a complete stranger about your challenges, problems, and things. That's all I'm saying.
Ant's like a neutral party is the best. But no.
Hey, sometimes that's how it is.
I'm joking.
But the last part about episode
insurance
5,
covering it.
That's right. Payment makes the relationship better.
I mean, that's what therapists are for, right? They're neutral.
Right.
But the last part about episode 5 was what's going on with now that Max survived. It's like, okay, how long? How long do I have? Like, I'm gonna keep this darn music playing.
As long as she got batteries.
She had to have a conversation also with Lucas. She was kind of like, look, man, what if I just don't love this song anymore? Right. And he was like, nah, like, you're absolutely gonna love it because I love it. And it was almost in his own subtle way, like, I love you kind of thing. And I think she also realized that, like, he has her back as much as everybody else does, but even more so. But with them in this episode, they were trying to figure out what they needed to do. And so they ended up getting to Victor Creel's house. Now, this is the weird thing about the house situation. Would y'all have, I'm going to say this nicely.
Nope.
No, you already know the answer.
Nope.
You already know the answer.
No.
So,
N-O.
I don't even know what you about to ask, but I'm just gonna say no.
So
first off, I wouldn't even be in Hawkins.
Look, I don't even know about karate and nothing. I need to stay.
For me personally, if I knew that Max was just almost killed by this thing, I would not let Max set foot in that house because I don't know what kind of effect it's going to have. If you know for a fact this is his point of origin, how he affects people, wouldn't it be just like any other broadcast? Like, the closer you are to it, wouldn't it be the pull be stronger? You know?
Like,
but that was just my thought. But either way, with this one, they got there, they went into the attic, and they got their understanding with Steve finding out, like, oh, wait, hold on, the lights, we're following it. And so then they were able to trace exactly where Odu was, but I don't know, man.
This is something that really, really irks me about this show. These kids have ideas, but no plan to follow through. If they walked in that house and he was just in there chilling, what were they gonna do?
Nah.
What were they going?
They ain't have no firecrackers, no nothing. They had no
plan?
weapons.
They had lightsabers. That's what
right.
And
they had flashlights, which
and
went
it
out.
happens.
What if some Demogorgon guard dogs or something there? Just
right,
like you, like
right. It would have been a wrap.
If I was a villain and you showed up like, oh, you came to me, I would have been ready. Oh, well, I guess like save me the trouble. Come here.
Right. Like that's the thing. Like, and they do it every single season. I'm still mad at them trying to use slingshots to fight the Demogorgon in season 1. I'm still not past that yet. But like, if at this point they know how bad it is, that spider monster in the mall, like they know what's up. They know what's up, and they still just gonna walk up in this house.
This plot armor show is nice.
Right.
Hey, look.
Right.
Well, you know what? Hey, it ain't nice for everybody. It ain't nice for everybody, Ant, because a brother died in the lake. He was swimming like an Olympian. He was sitting there trying to get Eddie.
He didn't have that plot armor. He was practically a bully.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't no plot armor.
Matter of fact, he swam like a bullet. I was impressed at their swim game.
I was impressed. I was like, damn. I was like, wait, that's fast.
Eddie was like panicking.
I was expecting that to show them to go that fast.
Look, horror movie rules are different now. It's like the black guy might not die, but the black guy's other black friend gonna die. Like that's how they do it now. It's like we're gonna put 2 black people in here. Samuel Jackson gonna die, but LL Cool J gonna make it.
Right.
Speaking of black dudes that are still alive, the agent is still alive. I thought he was dead, right? No, they're gonna torture him.
Because
the other black dude in charge is torturing the black dude.
We're gonna get there if we have enough time. In episode 6, we really don't have much time.
But those kids are top billing and they got some plot armor, and it's a little unbelievable at this point. Like it's a little.
I was gonna say it's still a little bit unbelievable. Hey, let's go to the haunted house that she saw in the dream world where she almost died. Let's go there. Why though?
Well,
they felt they were gonna find something, and you leave your walkie-talkie when you needed that walkie-talkie to save Max in the first place. What the? Because Eddie was trying to call y'all, and y'all weren't there.
If they had L, or if they gotten some mystic weapons in one of these seasons or something, maybe. They don't have anything. They got Steve. Who has an iffy win-loss record. So.
Look, since they're making so many D&D references, I think it's safe to say all these kids are chaotic good. They don't know what they're doing. They don't.
Points.
They don't.
Points.
But yeah, the ending of this episode ended with Elle getting a revelation of some of the reasons why she was able to use her powers. Because she was able to use it to defend herself in a situation where it's kind of like, oh, okay, she's not gonna be able to do it. But then no, she's actually able to do it now. The more she pushes in, and I don't know if she killed those guards or not, but she daggone looked like she did. And then Papa comes up to her, is like, yeah, I'm the only one that can kind of help you through this. I'm sorry, I'm the source of your trauma, but I can get you your powers back. So
she laid those bully guards out. Was like, you really want to do this again?
This show got more red shirts than Star Trek, man.
Bruh, I think them dudes died.
Just there. Nobody came to check on them. Nobody came to the alarms went off. The alarms went off. Like,
behind that glass window, I wouldn't let that happen to me though.
They did it.
After their contract was up, we was gonna shoot in the back of the head anyway. You just saved us some bullets. Like it's a secret facility.
Yeah. You won't ever go home. We knew this.
Yeah, but anyway, going into episode 6, which is an interesting segue. Yuri, in episode 5, they were on the plane, and your boy was like, "Yo, I'm about to put these black belt skills to work." And Winona Ryder's character was like, "Look, all they need you to do, just don't knock him out, because we need somebody to be able to fly the plane." Of course, the fight goes down, well choreographed, done pretty well. He actually put some moves on him, knocked him out. Now the plane's going down, and everybody's freaking out. and they just happened to crash and survive. I don't know how that happened. That was plot armor. Out of everything that I've seen so far in this season, that was plot armor. They honestly, being that they were so close like that to the windshield, I would have felt like, nah, they're not. One of them's not gonna make it, but they both made it out.
All three.
So going into this episode, they are trying to find food. They're trying to figure out a way to get to the prison, and so they come up with a tactic that, like, okay, we're gonna disguise you as Yuri and us as prisoners, and we're gonna get in. But before they even get there, they had to go to the church, get some supplies. I don't know if they actually got the guns or not. I think they got one pistol. I don't remember Winona Ryder's character get anything.
There was a crate of AKs. There was a crate of AKs.
Right. I don't think they picked up any of that. I think they just picked up a pistol and they proceeded to move forward. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't know. They ended up making it to the school. But what did you guys think about the whole Yuri arc between 5 and 6? I mean, did you guys find it interesting, find it funny, or was it you could have taken it or lived it?
Look,
it's a hot mess.
Oh, go ahead.
It's a hot mess. There's so many. It's like, where's the uniform? The plane is down. How are y'all going to get out once you get, Hopper? Where y'all going to go? Y'all can't hold up in that one area because they already got caught by Hopper there. They know where their location is.
See,
so where y'all going to go?
Yeah. And that's right. Like, once again, chaotic good. These people, they know what they kind of want to do, but they have zero plans. Like, one person bring a planner. Write something down.
Mm-hmm.
Something, because they just winging it, and I'm like, at this point, it's season 4. Y'all shouldn't be winging anything.
No, this is a Russian prison.
I was about to say, they're in Russia. The moment that plane went down, realistically, I kind of was like, look, it's gonna take a miracle for them, one, to find this prison in general, but then two, even if this dude, he was crazy enough, I was like, yeah, y'all could leave him out there, but he don't care. Right. Honestly, I would have suspected he wouldn't have helped them, realistically, even if they left him out there. I think that was a bluff that didn't work. But to be fair, he was like, yeah, you know what, give me my money and I can help you. But that's neither here nor there.
So I give them a kind of a pass because they didn't plan on going to Russia, right? That wasn't part of the plan.
No, it wasn't.
And I hate when people who don't fight try to tell somebody else how to win a fight because it's not a choice of you. Like, they have a choice. But I gotta apologize to that character because what's the character's name? Beard. What's Beard?
Murray.
Barry.
Murray. Because I was doubting you, but I forgot. This is the 80s. Karate is king. Like
right.
Like, you put that work in.
God.
God
kicked in, boy.
So I forgot about that. But see, and then they crash land and everything later. I'm like, oh, this stopped being a rescue mission. It started getting how do I get home mission. Would have been like I understand Joyce's motivation. She tried to go get her man. I ain't my man. I came to deliver money. That was a stretch for me. So, and then you make with this guy, you're in his country on his home turf. He can just rob you at any point. But I did. So at first I was like, oh, what is their plan? Oh, we're gonna go in this guy. Well, no, you gotta trust this guy. I was like, no, I'll be the guard and you'll be the person. I was like, do you speak fluent Russian? And when I mean fluent Russian is like, we all saw Inglourious Bastards, right? When he held up the three fingers.
Gorlami.
That broke my heart. I was like, damn it. That scene, I love that movie.
Archie.
Crazy as it is. Michael Fassbender, but damn.
Because I know you know some Russian, but do you know some Russian? Like, are you versed in this?
I mean, he held
it down. He did a good job.
He held it down, but
I thought that was a clever plan.
Make it till you make it.
Right, I thought it was a clever plan, and I haven't really seen a lot before, so I was like, all right. I tell you what my plan would be in. If I know there's a portal in that prison, I might try to get to that portal and go through hell to get back to America because you don't want to stay in Russia. So,
but see, this is the thing about that though, where what they're finding out Well, never mind. I can't say on it. I can't speak on it. Anyway,
but
moving
you're
on.
right. What is their plan to break into a prison, break somebody out, and then get out of a hostile country?
Bro, it's like Iron Eagle.
Yeah, like,
it's like
yeah, is this how the stories are going to merge together? Because I mean, we saw what happened at the end of the episode 6. So are they going to manage to open the portal to go through there and they escape that way? Like what? How? Where else are they going to go?
You gotta make
else?
it make sense. So you gotta. Y'all, I'm trusting your writing skills. Trying to. Because if you said they just get in a random boat to go back to America, I'm gonna be like, bull.
So this is a good segue. So going into now, all the kids are pretty much together for the most part, except for I'm not gonna say it like this. I may give a small amount of time for